Hi there, Cancer. How are you guys doing? I really hope that this video finds you well. Welcome to your weekly reading back with me again, Anisa from Dinner Stereo. For those of you who are in my channel, hello. And for those of you who have been a long time, welcome back. So guys, we're going to be doing things a little bit differently here because we're going to have a pick a card reading by the end of the session. It could be advice, it could be future, even more in-depth future predictions. I don't know. We'll just see what happens. Don't forget to check your sun, moon, rising, or Venus sign. And this is a general reading, so the roles might actually get reversed or it may not resonate with you. And there's so many amazing, talented tarot readers out there for you to just click and watch too. All right. So let's talk now, Cancer. And we're also going to be doing two people scenarios, and that's going to be the second session, right? But in the now, though, your overall energy, it's beautiful because you have two major arcana, which is the Hierophant, you have the High Priestess, and you also have the Eight of Wands, and it's solely a preposition. So Hierophant card here talks about how you stand tall, defending either your relationship or the promises that you made. So you kind of like still respect it, even though in the now with the High Priestess, it means that you're now listening a lot to your intuitions when you're dealing with your partner. And also at the same time, you're trying to detach, see things from a bigger perspective so that you don't get too fuzzy or don't have a headache by trying to read into it tiny little details. And you kind of like keep things to yourself a little bit here. All right, and you have the Eight of Wands, so you kind of like want to have like a lot of movement, a lot of positivities in regards to your relationship in the now. If you guys are single, you guys are kind of like wanting to have that mixture of a positive relationship that is very, very flowing communications, and also the Hierophant card, you have something that is very, very traditional. So what is challenging you? You have a King of Cups. It kind of like indicates one person in this relationship has like a little bit of an inability to control their emotions, or is a bit emotionally manipulative. Two, or it could be that the person that you're dealing with is not really being emotionally vulnerable and available towards you. And then with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse in there, it tells me that it's like it's hard for you or them to see this relationship in a good light or being positive about it. Or it could also mean that there are situations, events, and circumstances, you know, surrounding your life that is not supporting this relationship from happening. So it could be like distance, long distance relationship, or it could be that work get in the way, or they're busy with their families or friends or children or what have you. It could be something like that, all right? So let's talk about it in the past. So this person in the past was the Five of Swords. So they were being a little bit mean to you. So Five of Swords, it could be that they're probably cutting you off, ghosting you, or talking something like when you guys are having like a healthy argument and they're like kind of like very, very cut and dry because they just want to win the argument. And you're starting to sense that in the past, whoever it is that you were dealing with was kind of like Two of Pentacles. So you're not a priority for them in this relationship. It could be that they were also juggling two different people at the same time. But, you know, you're kind of like done in waiting around for your past person because you have a Seven of Pentacles in reverse anyway. So in the past, not in this past, you kind of like were waiting, you were patient, like you kind of like believe that, you know what, like I invested a lot in this relationship and I'm going to be patient, watering it down and everything like that. But then you were at a point where you feel that I don't think so. Like you know, life's too short. I'm not just going to sit here or wait around for you to make decisions and make me a priorities into your life or what have you. So you feel the need to kind of like defend yourself. You have a Nine of Wands, so you also have like a lot of major trust issues. You might sacrifice a lot of things for them too, though. You might have sacrificed a lot of things for them too. And you have a Ten of Swords, so you were hurting. It was hurtful. This person was hurting too, but the way that they act by the fact when they were hurt was like to be Five of Swords. So Five of Swords is a bit mean. That means 5 cards in a now. All right, Page of Wands in reverse, Queen of Cups in reverse. See, it's all in reverse in here. They're not, it's either they're being emotionally unavailable towards you, or it could be that they're being emotionally manipulative towards you. And if you're being ghosted or whatever, it's like because they're doing it like that. Two of Wands. Queen, Ace, but you still kind of like want to give it a try. you still want to give it a try. You like talking to them. You like being around their presence. It's like even looking at them or looking at their texts or even thinking about their presence and your surrounding kind of like gives you this. See here, look at this person here. He's being shackled, right, towards the wands. And then the bird is the only way for him to communicate with the outside world. So that's kind of like how you're feeling right now. And you just can't help it but to do something about it here with the Ace of Wands. But again, if you're dealing with one person, this person is all in reverse right now. So not really being emotionally vulnerable. They like hearing something from you, but it's just that they're not willing to show it. It's like there's a switch of energy. In the past, you were done of waiting around and everything like that. I thought you were going to move away or something, but like in it now, it's like completely different. Magkakto mas cara. Masa depan, sorry. That means 5 cards in the future. This could also mean that if you guys are single, you know, you might be going to be dealing with a water sign and also a fire sign. So water sign would be Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, and then fire sign would be Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. But again, these people are both all of them are in reverse position. So I would manage my expectations if I were you. If you guys are single and just kind of like starting dating around, I would try to manage my expectations because you're so fired up about it. You know, you're all the wands things. So you're passionate, you're excited. You're excited and all that stuff. Six of Swords. Queen of Swords. Three of Cups. And also the Fool card. I see. Whoever it is that you're dealing with is not the type of person who, I think, you know, once you guys pull back away and then you no longer talk to them or you no longer like appreciate the friendship aspect of the relationship, even if you guys are dating around again, only then will this person kind of like come back around at you. I mean, the table will turn. It will turn in the future, but it's just that there has to be a little bit of a switch of energy that needs to happen here. Cancer, you can't be the only person who is excited about doing something. Both of you needs to meet halfway, right? So in the future, I feel that the switch that you were feeling in the past where you felt that you don't want to wait around any longer is going to grow even stronger. And then you're like the Queen of Swords. So make me change, you know, like come to me, explain things to me in a very, very logical, what makes sense logically. And then you're trying to, like, if they said A and then in the past they were saying B, like you would try to make them explain themselves a lot. So once you kind of like detach away from the situations and not being so passionate and not like now, you know, the table will turn. It will turn. And better than you're expecting, because you see here we have the Eight of Pentacles. So Eight of Pentacles is they're going to be very, very consistent and persistent. But I can see also here like there's a little bit of a different of levels of expectations too, where you're much more passionate. You want to push things forward as fast as possible, whereas they're the type of people who like to do things in a very, very calculated manner. So that could also be the problem and the reason why the more you chase them, the more they're going to back away, or the more you put effort or initiative, the more they're going to back away, because they're more of a pentacle person. Doesn't have to be an earth sign, but it's just that the way that they approach relationship, they want to be slow and steady, if that makes sense. So once you pull back, they're going to come in slow and steady, because they have the Eight of Pentacles and also the Six of Swords. They might be doing like a lot of active services towards you, But in order for you to do that, you have to be less passionate than you are in the now, okay? So that is it. If you guys are dealing with one person, we're going to go more in depth with the advice and future spread in the pick a card session, because this is a general reading, so it's not a one size fit for all, right? So if you guys are dealing with one person, your reading ends now. I'm going to put a timestamp right over here to let you know when the pick a card starts. So now let's move on to the two people scenarios, meaning that if you guys are dealing with two people, this reading is for you. Right. So person B, person A, let's start from person A. Person A is somebody who you have had like a really, really explosive type of relationship, kind of. Because in the past, it was like they kind of like blew up, or they did something that made you like, whoa, I wasn't expecting this. And it kind of like made your guard up a little bit. In the now, though, I feel that you're going to be hearing something from them. So whenever you watch this video from now on until 7 days from now, you're going to be watching something from them. Or it could be that you're isolated in your home and you're kind of like feeling lonely, and then you're trying to look information about this person. But here is the part. It's kind of like a bit similar with the one person scenarios, where when you detach is the moment when this person is going to put in the work. If that makes sense. When you're no longer that obsessed, when you're no longer that passionate, the table will turn. But you have to be like less of a one person, okay? So I also feel that in the future, some of you might date around and have like been seeing a lot of people, and that's when they're like, oh wow, like when they start to feel like, oh wow, like I'm probably going to be losing cancer. So they're going to be putting the work here. 8 of Pentacles is good because it's consistency and persistency along the way. They're willing to put in the work here to make the relationship blossom, right? So that's that's person A. Person B is just somebody who has been either in and out, hot and cold, unable to give you any type of certainty. You might be sensing that this person is kind of like two-timing you with other people, but this person just doesn't give you that type of emotional security that you're yearning for. And now, though, you guys are pretty passionate about this person, but again, this person is the Queen of Cups in reverse. So it's either this person is pretty manipulative, likes to play the victim, so in a way that every time they were talking about their ex or their past relationship that they've had, they might kind of like portray themselves as a victim. That could be it. Or it could also mean that this person is not being that emotionally available right now because they're just not ready. So in the future, you guys are just going to be like person, we'll see, yeah, with a pick a card session. But it's just like for me, try to manage your expectations with this person, because the more passionate you are, the more obsessive you are with this person B, the more that they're going to turn back from you, because this person is just not ready. We'll see about the pick card, but for me, like if you really want to have that emotional intensity, a passionate type of love, person A is much more suitable for you than person B. Okay, so now let's move on to the pick a card reading. All right, so I have full 4 piles of cards ready for you guys. This is card number 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to give you 20 seconds of silence so that you guys can concentrate, all right? And please try to pick only one. All right, let's do it. So for those of you who chose pile number 1, you have the Queen of Pentacles. I'm using after tarot, so it's going to have like a different interpretations than a traditional Rider-Waite. 10 of Swords, the Judgment, and also the 7 of Swords. So let's talk now, Cancer. Interesting. I think whoever, for those of you who chose this pile of cards, you were in a position or in a situations where you were concentrating a lot on loving the other person than loving yourself. Because you have the Queen of Pentacles in here, and the Queen of Pentacles is like she just kind of like realized that she has been, you know, holding her pentacles close by herself, but she just never got to look at it or examine it closely or remember what she was like, you know what I mean? And I feel that when it comes to the relationship sectors, you've been focusing a lot on nurturing the relationship, appreciating the relationship, sacrificing for the relationship and everything like that. And you haven't ever gotten a time to look at yourself like, oh, like, what is it that I like? What is it that, so me doing something for me that I love, doing things for me, like the reason is for me, not for my children, not for my family, not for my partner, but I do something because I like it. And I feel that you haven't been doing it for a very, very long time. Thing is that you have a Seven of Swords, and the Seven of Swords in this particular deck of mine is about to get caught. Look, right? He's about to get caught. So it's either already happened or it's going to happen. But I feel that whoever it is that you're dealing with, regardless if you are dealing with one person or two people, one person in this relationship is going to get caught either telling a lie or being manipulative or, I don't know, taking advantages of something or whatever that is, but this person is going to get caught. And I feel that that's your partner, most likely, because right after this happens, I mean, if it has already happened, you need to make a conclusion for yourself and kind of like pull back all of your resources from the relationship. But if it's going to happen, remember, when you caught them doing something, it's time for you to kind of like pull back your resources. You make your own judgment. You make your own conclusion. It's okay. It's okay for giving up what? Like, how long have you been in a relationship? Let's say you've been in a relationship for 1 year or 2 years. You've given up 1 or 2 years of your life for this relationship. You'd probably have like a little bit of a inkling feeling of like, wow, that would be such a waste if I don't continue nurturing this relationship because I haven't, invested in this relationship for those type of years. But I mean, if it's a bad one, why should you reinvest again, right? I mean, even when the stock market was down, a lot of people were selling their stocks. Right? They don't invest more because they know that it's silly. So why would you invest in something that you know is depreciating? You know what I mean? Yes, you're going to get hurt. Yes, you're going to feel like, oh, wow, like such a waste and everything like that. But remember, everything leads back to you. You need to do stuff. You need to choose a relationship, friendship, romantic relationship, or whatever that is. That is good for you. All right, so that is it for those of you who chose pile number 1. So for those of you who chose pile number 2, you have the Hierophant, 5 of Pentacles, the World card, and also the Strength card. So for those of you who chose pile number 2, I think you guys have been keeping something. So it's either you know that your partner either needs help or needs clarity or closures, confirmations, or I think it's also like help, like if they have been like in a tough situation and you just kind of like being observing at bay and like not really telling them what to do and everything like that. But here's the thing, whoever it is that you're dealing with, they need your help the most right now, right? So if you've been ghosting somebody and you don't give them any type of closure or clarity, I think it's time for you to do that, because one person in here kind of like misses you really tremendously and they're suffering a lot. So the Hierophant card in this particular deck of mine is different because he's finally showing his book. He's showing, this is what I'm teaching you, instead of like just telling, you know what I mean? It's showing. So I think you should do that. Because once you do that, I mean, because the thing that you've been keeping to yourself has been haunting you for quite a while too. And once you start showing them whatever it is that they needed to see or hear or talk about from you, only then you will have and gain a full clarity. And I feel like reconciliations is due, because both of you are in different places right now. They're much more patient, and you guys are also much more patient right now. All right, so that is it if you guys chose pile number 2. Let's move on to pile number 3. Chariot, Magician, 3 of Wands, and also the Moon card. So I don't know, maybe it's in the full moon cycle or in the new moon cycle, you're going to feel very, very heavily about things. This tells me that this full moon that is about to happen, or the new moon that is about to happen this month, is a make it or break it into your relationship. So whatever it is that you're feeling, you're going to be feeling very, very intensely. Maybe good or maybe bad, but during that full moon, take a time to kind of like relay your message or whatever it is that you want to say to your partner and see from that, because What I'm seeing from this card is that a forward movement is due because maybe you guys have been stuck in a situation for quite a while and it's just due. You know what I mean? Like when the full moon, whatever is concluded at the full moon, that is your answer. If it's a go, it's a go. If it's a no, then it's a no. You have 3 major arcanas in here, meaning that the universe really want you to move, you know, it really want you to move forward. And if you have a certain questions that has been done and upon you, like maybe you have like a little bit of a problem with I don't know, like what are you up to and who is that person and how do you feel about me and everything like that. Take that full moon or maybe new moon, whenever you watch this video actually, time to do something about it, because there's going to be a time where those feelings are going to get intensified. Okay, so that is it if you guys chose pile number 3. Now let's move on to pile number 4. You have the Knight of Wands, 6 of Wands, 10 of Cups, and also the 4 of Swords. So I remember like the previous reading that I did for you like earlier, it was all about you being a wand person, you know what I mean? And there's nothing bad about being a wand person. It means that you guys are youthful, you guys are adventurous, you guys love people passionately. It kind of like reminds me of the poem by Worcestershire. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but it's like for women who are difficult to love because they're just way too fiery, they're just way too intense, they're very woke and everything like that. There's nothing wrong being that, just so you know. And if you are in a relationship where you feel that you have to act a certain type of way, you have to dress a certain type of way and everything like that, I think you really should move on and find somebody who would appreciate you. Because once you get out of a period where it's very, very inhibiting and limiting you, you're going to be meeting somebody. And I feel that that person is also already present in your life though. Somebody who just appreciate you as who you are. So you need to find your match. Don't kind of like sacrifice yourself or sacrifice your true identity and your personality just because of love. All right. So I think that is it for my reading for you, Cancer. I hope you guys enjoy it. And I'll see you guys next week for another weekly reading. All right. Bye-bye, guys. Have a great day. I love you.